for a higher GC news. Mima Obibia Akwaba. Latest hot enamede bro. Now so similar in our baron. So we now subscribe ya, but what say over subscribe. Now like video give us a thumbs up. Nafi share now for froso when you be here. Now who and somewhere ekoso ewo Ghana memohanum. Afi tentemara yibura ye and somewhere abeto yepno so you could see AS report AS Ansemi Ababu to Jay Mumayeti AS Ansemi Mueti.
Around there seemed to be a certain yen from the public, just like galamsey, that look, there was too much impunity in the system. People are embezzling public funds. Public funds spent are not accountable. Nobody is held responsible. And so that is why there was embracing of those two key campaign messages. Oral, I'll fight galamsey. Now, how would you gauge what has been done and then what the public opinion is, for which the government needs to be cautious of? Otherwise,
Olympus. So, impunity, corruption, embezzlement, these are languages for the rich. Let's go down. They stole from us. They stole public funds. You see, when you put it that way, then the Ghanaian, look,
I see.
Your former finance minister has run away to the United States. He has left the country. Now, to even add insult to injury, he has gone to engage another criminally minded lawyer called Edeyat Kasimi. A criminal, pure one.
Edeyat Kasimi?
Go to Afghanistan. Oh, he was being pursued. Kabul banking.
A former minister.
Former minister for aviation. The whole of the United States, no pure white man was willing to defend Ken Ofori Atta. He had to go to Afghanistan. That guy is not a pure American. He's an Afghan. To go and engage him. Someone who himself was embroidered in a similar fashion. That guy must be a subject. In fact, the Ghana government must begin to petition the United, because Ken Ofori Atta is not giving us a clue. The people that has been in the equation, the coefficients. And the yacht is a coefficient of the crime we are talking about.
Coefficient?
Coefficient of crime. Coefficient. And he's sitting in the US there and on BBC running his mouth. Look, make nobody, don't let any lawyer deceive you that we have not been stolen as a country.
Rule of law.
So that, and let me remind
you. The wheels of justice
grind. The wheels of justice grind was slowly.
Didn't
Afenyo go to court at 12 o'clock and get ruling at 3 o'clock? Wasn't the same wheels? Wasn't the same wheels? If they want to do it, they can do it. Take it from me.
Oh, so low.
If they want to do it, but because it's a rich. Let a poor man get a matter because a poor man cannot even have access to lawyer. So quickly, we dispense with the poor man. But the rich man will get and go engage a lawyer, pay more, and in the system they come and tell us the wheels of justice grind slow.
So how we are dealing with oral and all that?
I am not happy, but you see, I would encourage the Attorney General to continue to do the press briefings.
You like the briefings?
Oh, but I have encouraged, see, any Attorney General that fails to carry the public along will fail. Because in our space, those that have stolen, they themselves have media houses that wants to control the narrative. They will control the narrative and let the government look bad. So if you don't come and tell us, in any case, it's accountability. Yeah. You are accounting to the people. What is wrong with that? The only people who are not happy with it are those criminals who think that we are exposing them too much. We live with them in society. You cannot be a teacher. The moment you come to government, the next moment you are driving Bugatti and you say you won a lot. If you won a lot, you come and show us the winning numbers and which institution you won from. It's as simple as that. The presidency assured us. In fact, he commissioned a forensic audit committee. Remember, for the 13th All Africa Games. That was in November. President Mahama commissioned them. The Auditor General assured us that by the middle of December, the findings will be made available. We are ending the year. Auditor General, see, you are the people that disappoint the President. The President, if the Auditor General is going to play this game, you fire him. What are you waiting for? PDS, Gargantuan, PDS. Look, as for PDS, that it is the look. I was expecting the former flag bearer of the NPP to be hauled. Oh. You remember conditions president and conditions subsequent. He changed. He single-handedly changed it. Why they even introduced a fake insurance guarantee? Sputnik V, Ajimamenu. You are telling us that the views of justice ground slowly. The man, the health minister, couldn't think straight. He all of a sudden is dead. Quiet. You understand? National service, 2.4 billion. Asibe and give to Owari. You give to Owari. You engage in monetary that is taller than your height. The money is taller than your height. Now you think I have to be happy? My daughter is at secondary school sleeping on useless beds because of the corruption of these people. National Cathedral, people are saying there's no corruption. Look at that. How can you confident the whole is there? But let me assure you, today is 31st. All those that want to join me, that is why I'm going to fellowship. That is a site, official site for anybody that wants to worship God. So by 11:30 p.m., I will be at the National Cathedral site. Last year I was there.
But there's no church there.
But that is a church for you. You don't want to worship. What are you talking about? So I will be there. 11:30, I'll go and meet my maker there. President Akufo Addo said he had a promise with God. So I'm going there to see whether God will meet me there. And if God meets me there and does not tell me to go and chase Akufo Addo and bring that money, that means this God is not a balanced God. That this God is a discriminating God. Then this God affirms corruption and abhors corruption and loves corruption. David Ajay, where is he? You came to take our money with impunity. Now you say what? The use of justice grounds. So all right, like Asibe was saying, and galamsey were the two key issues. The president and the government, they are doing very well on the economic front. But you know why the people, the masses are still not happy? Because they believe that if you are doing well in inflation, with your exchange rate, with your GDP, with all these things, and you do not go for the money, the stolen wealth of the state, you have not helped the people of this country.
So you are cautioning the government?
We are going to be on them. 2026 is going to be fireworks. Because you see, if you don't do that, President Muhammad will go back without any legacy. He must. And those 9 months and they must begin to arrest the kingpins. This year, Kenabua, please, enough of this small boy Chinese, go for the kingpins, arrest them. Let's begin to do something new. Something new in our lives.
Okay.
And with that, Ghana will go places.
All right.
There's also a 52 billion Ghana city tax revenue that was stolen.
The commercial bank.
The commercial bank.
The money that was...
52 billion is enough. The road minister is doing very well, but he needs money. Professor Abuja is doing so well. The health insurance...
With a big push.
You know, interestingly, health insurance now, they are paying the people.
Nobody's complaining.
Hey, leadership is everything. Health insurance. Can you imagine? Now, what has happened with the gold board must open the eyes of those in this administration that think that they have friends in the NPP.
I don't understand.
It must open their eyes. I see them doing business and I laugh. They don't know we have been this party.
You mean they are individuals in the government working?
They are working closely. They think that scratch my back, let me scratch your back.
They are doing scratch my back.
Exactly.
I scratch your back.
Now the gold board, even where there is no issue, you see how they have been able to bring it up, trying to point accusing fingers at Sammy Gyamfi. And let me tell you, Sammy Gyamfi remains a threat to the NPP.
Exactly.
They hate him to the core. And so if Sammy is listening to me, he does not have friends there. He has people that really hate him. But they'll go around him and make all sort of gestures as though they love him. If you fall for it, my friend, you'll be eating or you'll be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth. They are only looking for something to pounce on you. And make no mistake, even here.
You mean it's a target?
It's a target. It's a target. It's pure hatred. Nothing more. Nothing is pure hatred. Other than that, the works of the gold board. Initially, I criticized it. I was even thinking that it was too early for Sammy to be pushed there. But he has proven beyond all reasonable doubt.
Really?
He has impressed me. That
Solomon Owusu.
I say it without any malice. I don't remember. Sammy, I've met him once on set at Alleges. I've never met him. But I can tell you with all sincerity that he is living up to expectation, and that we have to encourage them. The IMF that you are trusting, the IMF is not happy that as a country you have been able to have a template that can draw in more revenue. Because once Ghana succeeds, remember Mali is into gold production, Burkina is into gold production, Ivory Coast, they will also resort to this same gold board template. Europe and America will suffer. So I have read the entire Fit Review report. It was only commendation, but they needed to bring a propaganda. And that propaganda, it is for the consumption of the New Patriotic Party and their assigns. I have said that we have two types of opposition members or opposition parties. We have the irresponsible opposition party, which is the New Patriotic Party, and the responsible opposition party, which is the United Party. The party
you
that
are the responsible one.
Absolutely, they know in this country we are going to give the NDC a good ground for their money come 2028. No doubt about that.
Which other events are your highlights for the year? Apart from qualification of the Black Stars.
Apart from the qualification of the Black. No, I mean the death of the 8.
The crash.
Remember the last message for the day came from Mutala. My friend,
I think all of us were here.
We're here.
Zato was here.
Zato was here. You were here. The last message came from Mutala. And he continues to hunt me.
He was on the tarmac at the time.
He is somebody that we have had close relationship. And that is why we cannot stop talking about galamsey, because they died because of galamsey. So for me, it's a highlight for the year for me. And we must always use them to fight against what? Galamsey.
Okay. The question of, is it that the strategies that are being adopted are not punitive enough? So for example, we see a number of incidents where even NIMO's personnel go to communities and there's resistance from the community members, all right? There's complicity of individuals in official or public office where they turn a blind eye and allow the perpetration of these acts. And so there's a two-way or two-side to the narrative, where the communities, where the exploitation is ongoing, are beneficiaries one way or the other, because there's an economic livelihood around illegal mining, and the government also has to deal with it frontally with the task force and the strategy, Blue Water Guards, NIMOS, etc. And we, at the top of the whole conversation, say that it has to be tackled head on. So why is that strategy is not working?
Roland, it's not working because it is the powerful in society that is doing this illegal business. Let me tell you, all the inputs, accoutrements, equipment that you need in doing galamsey are very expensive. I mean, how many of the locals are able to buy excavators or even rent excavators? It is the powerful in society that you call the honorables. They go and convince the locals who are poor that, oh, when galamsey comes to your area, you will make some decent living, which is not the case. I'll give you a typical example. For those that were traveling to the Elembele and those areas, before mining got to that area, rent was so cheap. I went to conduct some surveys there. But with the advent of mining in the area, now it's highly expensive for the locals to even rent. Food. You go to mining areas like Obuasi that used to enjoy, oranges and stuff at a very cheap price. Now they are having to depend on foodstuffs from far areas, which is becoming very expensive because they were told that when mining comes to your area, you make a decent living. No, it's not true. It's the powerful in society who are doing that, and you must call them by the name. I'm very happy you brought in NIMOS, and here, let me salute whoever brought the idea of NIMOS. Together with the personnel there, Kennedy and Co., they are doing a yeoman job. That is one positive with this administration. They were straight on, they got it right. And I believe that if they are going to allow NIMOS to work, we may deal with it. But there are a lot of negatives with the fight against galamsey with this administration. I believe that entering into 2026, the president, together with his administration, must sit up and deal with it. Look straight into his own party financiers, people in government, and tell them enough is enough. Ghana ranks 6th when it comes to leading countries producing gold. You have the China, you have the Russia, you have Australia, you have Canada, you have the United States all coming before Ghana. Why is it that we are not experiencing these levels of destruction in the environment? The last time the Ghana Space Science Technology Institute came up with a figure that was so astonishing, they tell us that 60,000 hectares of our lands have been destroyed. And for the emphasis here, 60,000 hectares of land equates to 84,000 football fields. That's what has been destroyed. A young man by name Akufo Addo, working with NIMOS as a private soldier, and for education, to become a private soldier is to go through this by application for, first of all, go through the recruitment that's got 6 people dead. After that,
he's a soldier, but his rank is private.
Private.
Okay.
Go through training for 6 months. This man is deployed by 9 months to the Obuasi area. And he dies. He was buried just the 19th of December. We had the EPA boss go to Obuasi, Professor Kluche. The woman was chased
out.
You interviewed her here on this platform. Your EPA boss, and what even freaked me with her account was the fact that someone in the crowd was directing her. Don't use the Obuasi route, use the Dunkwa route. How did that person in the crowd got to know that the place was so insecure and that people were trailing her? It means people were complicit.
Within the administration.
Within the administration. And it comes back to the point that Ken Ofori was making. That how can we have an MC in Obuasi, an NIB person in Obuasi, a national security person in Obuasi, and we will still have this despicable act, and the person is still drawing salaries from the state? Mr. President, 2026, do us one favor. Any community that you see galamsey happening, sack the MC, sack the police commander. I am expecting the Obuasi police commander banner should have been fired.
And if it's not done?
That means you are not fighting galamsey. It means you are only beating about the bush.
We're paying lip service.
Paying lip service. Because you cannot have galamsey openly. And the people were bold enough. They were wearing CID attire, confronting a woman. They are so callous. They are not reasonable. They saw the EPA boss to be a woman. They could have even considered that, oh, this is a woman. They wanted to kill her. So if they are ready to kill a woman, how much more me, you and I? Let the state be weak and there will not be any state. So the president must up the game and go after the kingpin. You remember Kennedy Agyapong telling the entire world that his life was saved by grace at a certificate North. What has happened to the MP? Kwaku Addo.
He's standing trial.
He's standing trial, and then that trial
is in court. So
that matter is where?
He's in court. The man is appeared before. Was he?
La ilaha illallah. Now, what about? Is he alone standing trial? Because he mentioned Colin Dada's name. Remember? What has happened to him?
That depends on the investigation.
That depends on the investigation.
Your name is mentioned in anything, you should be.
So what I'm saying is that, Jofas, the Ghana Standard Authority tells us that the acceptable turbidity levels of our water must be 5 NTU. 5 NTU. As we speak, we are doing about 11,000. So I'm not here this morning to grade, to give 1:5. I will only be happy when the NTU comes back to a reasonable level because it does not discriminate. And I want to entreat every Ghanaian to be visiting the emergency unit of Kolebu Hospital. And there you would appreciate how people are dying like chicken. We are fast-tracking our exit from this world. And you see, anytime 9 months raise a site, one thing happens. They always confiscate guns. You know what it means? We are building bandits. Nigeria now has to deal with bandits at Sokoto and Zamfara. Now they have to rely on strikes from the United States. We cannot be in this country where a group of people think that they are above the laws. Remember what happened on the 18th of January 2025 when some group of people in Obuasi entered forcibly the mining site of Anglo that led to 8 people dead. So the fight we must up it, but the most important thing is that Politicians must look straight into their faces. There are ways of doing responsible mining. Nobody is saying that you cannot do responsible mining. Go through the mill, go through the training, and get the requisite skill. The state must help in that direction so that we get mining companies that are responsible. If it could be done in the Russias, it could be done in Australia, it could be done in Canada and the United States, why can't it be done in Ghana? That we are destroying our environment thinking that we are doing anything serious because we are looking for money. You are looking for money at the expense of who? And this business of increased employment, no, we must not entertain it. What about areas that do not have gold? That they are not doing money? I don't know surviving. So we shouldn't go there. Then armed robbers will also come in and tell us that, yeah, because they are not getting jobs, that's why they are robbing. That is not how we build a country.
And for example, Shadrach, show me the video. Show me the video of the Professor Kluche, who was chased, the EPA boss.
She was chased, the woman, and you know,
there are even other videos where the NIMOS personnel deployed in some other areas.
Yes.
You have barricades of fire, etc. That's been lit by the community, preventing them from making entry into the community.
So that is the point.
Okay. So that is why that is why Abdul Fattah, we need to have the conversation around why are community members willing to allow their areas to be mined, preventing official task force personnel and officials who have been appointed by the state, I'll say, of course, it's the president, from stopping an illegality if everybody along the chain is not complicit. So how does the president then go and convince a community of 10,000, 20,000 people who are willing to be part of the economic life? They are benefiting from illegal mining to stop that.
I think it's sheer greed. Greed in that people look at the direct benefit they get as opposed to the communal benefit or the communal destruction that is caused by the galamsey menace. So, for instance, these days, even in time past, we had a situation where Ato was taking on chiefs under his jurisdiction were involved in galamsey. This tells you that those campaigns, as rightly mentioned by...
I don't understand. Ato is...
Yeah, there was a time that he was seen handing down severe sanctions to chiefs under his jurisdiction who were involved or who had hands in galamsey. And this is the extent we need to go with this fight. You see, if we leave the fight to mean a political fight, we'll never get there. Because remember, if the entire community becomes embroiled in this fight, then it becomes difficult because if you go to any community, you are going to work with the structures in the community. You have the chieftaincy structure, you have the local administration, and all those things. But if you get to an extent where the chiefs themselves are complicit, trust me, even the MCE or the DCE who is there will not be able to address the issue because sometimes even the appointment of MMDCs is based on the recommendation of the chiefs. And so, to a large extent, sometimes the MMDCs owe serious allegiance to the chiefs. And so, if you come to a community and the chief himself has a hand in the menace, then it becomes a very difficult fight to undertake. And so, I am not surprised that you go to community because people look at, okay, galamsey, yes, it's bad, but when I go in, look at what I'm able to make. The young guys are making huge money. It's just like this Sakawa.
The romance scam, the fraud, the internet fraud.
Those people engaged in it, they are aware that this is criminal, this is bad. In fact, most of them, they belong to one religious faith or the other. If they are not Christians, they are Muslims. And they know the implications of this on themselves. But they look at the benefit they get, they drive. Tell me,
my name is
Roland.
Yes.
What job opportunity can any government take to a community that can go at par with what the people get, the indigenous get from galamsey?
So we should put our arms in the air in despair?
No, so I'm telling you that is the situation at hand.
Because the reality is that the effort is not biting enough.
It's not about the effort. It's about who are fighting the effort.
It's not punitive enough.
The effort, no.
Yet we are here blaming the president. The president has appointees in there. Here you are citing chiefs. So, for example, we all know in Ghana, if somebody commits an act of omission and we want to use the coercive powers of state to enforce for punitive or maybe prosecution, etc., it's the same chiefs and the elderly state people in the community who come to intervene, whether through the presidency, etc., for that person to be dealt leniently.
Exactly.
So, but at the end of the day, that's why we elect the president and his appointees carry on his authority.
Which is why I go for this new approach of decent community mining. There is this new step.
Yeah, but you have to stop the illegality before you go there.
Yeah, you can do the two at the same time.
Okay.
You don't need to necessarily stop because it will take a lot of time. And sometimes once you stop some people, you are asking yourself, what alternative do they have? So try to regularize their operations. Try to create some sanity around the operations and let people feel that they can easily be transitioned from the illegality to the legality without losing anything. You understand? So how do we put up a structure that makes it so easy, so seamless for people to move away from the illegal practice to a legal practice without losing a penny? If we are able to establish such a rigorous structure, trust me, people will move away from the galamsey issue.
Really?
Yes, because they just need an alternative to whatever they get.
Yeah.
And trust me, this job opportunities, if you like, the YEA job opportunities, the Zoom line, those things are not enough to take the youth off this set. Because the kind of money they make from galamsey, trust me, you and I sitting here, we don't even make a quarter of that money in a year.
Oh, you are an MP. You don't have a problem.
So you see, like, it goes beyond just a political class. You understand?
Okay.
I don't respond to that, but it goes beyond just a political class.
All right.
You understand? So we need a concerted effort from the chiefs.
Dr. Ashigbi.
So again, I agree with yes.
So the communities are benefiting. You've seen them. Sometimes they join forces with the hoodlums. I'm calling the hoodlums because they carry AK-47s, MG3s, and things like that to make sure they prevent well-appointed, deployed state authority or personnel.
Yes. So Roland, you see, Solomon mentioned it. The firefighters have become the arsonists. The people we have put in authority to prevent these things from happening. Some of them around His Excellency the President. Some of them around, in the corridors of power. They have become organized criminals. You know, so it is not the people in the community.
Organized criminals. Oh, how?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it is organized crime. It is properly organized crime. These are the people who can import 200 excavators into this country. These are people who are importing a lot of weaponry into this country. You have situations now, they bring people from our neighboring countries, not to come and mine, but they bring the people to provide the security, the shield.
Really?
In such a way that, yes, currently go to a lot of our...
You mean Burkinabes, Ivorian, Nigerians, and they are providing security at the legal mining sites?
Completely. So the challenge we have currently, it's not just the ecological challenges that we face. We also have a major national security challenge on our hands. In the past, you will see a military man, just a military man wearing his camo in a community. But you had a situation where a colonel of the military and 8 military people had to run for their lives. So these people who are doing this, they are armed to the teeth, and then unfortunately you also have the issues of a lot of drugs involved. And so because they are, and you find out that most of these people, they are not even from the communities. So when they are pushing, these things from happening, it is not a joke. You had a situation where you went to Tontokrom, where 28 million of a Ghanaian contractors' equipment were banned. So what we are doing, and again, I agree with Honorable when he talks about the fact that we need to go back to responsible mining and be able to find a scheme that insulates the community people from these organized criminals so that they are able to mine and then mine responsibly. They don't put themselves at risk.
Dr. Ashigbi.
And then they are able to get the benefits out of that.
Dr. Ashigbi.
Yes, sir.
I know what the EPA Act says. the Minerals and Mining Act as well. The responsible mining, how is it supposed to be done? That we haven't been able to achieve that.
Okay. So you see, if you look at it, it was the basis of community mining when the NPP were in power. Unfortunately, the community mining just became an avenue for politically exposed persons to get involved in this without necessarily the communities benefiting from it. Now, this current government wants, is renaming it as responsible mining. But the good thing is that there are few changes that this current government has done with it. But there's still the challenge. You see, to be able to do proper responsible mining, there's a lot of money that you need to put behind it. So for us, the Ghana Chamber of Mines, we are finding ways in which we want to also come support government in this venture in putting together a modeled, responsible mining scheme. But it would need a lot of money that has to be put behind it. I have had conversations with the CEO for the Gold Board. He also gets it, that to be able to do this, you need to put some good money behind it, get the community members to own some equity in it. You need to get the people who are the landowner, the people who are currently farming or have rights on the land, also have some shares in it. Bring entities like the Minerals Commission, the EPA, but most importantly entities like UMAT and some of these universities to give you professionals that would work with these people, get funds to be able to make sure that you design the mine right, you do the prospecting and make sure that there's proper gold there so that you don't do this try-and-acquire things that they do, and then make sure that you design the mine properly, get the right people to make sure that they work together with them. A lot of the money you would need would have to go into paying these people the right amount so that they will not be dealing with these organized criminals. Then you put the Gold Board also, you also then put together a processing plant to be able to now process the ore. One of the major risks that currently we face, which is a new risk that has come, there's a lot of Burkinabés that they are bringing into this, the illegal miners are bringing into this country, who are not using mercury anymore. They are using cyanide. And cyanide in the wrong dosage, in the hands of the wrong people, without the right protection and protocols around it, is very deadly. And currently that's something that is happening. So if you put this responsible mining in place, you then have to put together a central processing plant that they can bring their ores to this particular place and then be able to process it. At the end of it, Gold Board is there to buy the gold of them. You make sure that everybody who has a stake in it also gets to benefit out of it. So, yes, the responsible mining, it is the way to go, but then it would need a lot of intention, being deliberate, intentional about it, a lot of resources. And as I've said, we, as a chamber, we've commissioned some work. Some of our members have already started some work to do with it so that these things can be done and done properly. There are various other models where you could get these community people to then work for the large-scale miners, but they do that very responsibly, so they become like subcontractors for them. But there are major challenges. Let me say one thing about the issues around the chiefs.
And that will be your last word, please.
Yes, the last word I would say is that the chiefs, we need to get to the point where any chief who allows his land to be used for galamsey, that land should be confiscated. So some new laws would have to be passed. Hey. Confiscate the land, redo the reclamation.
Confiscation of...
Yes, you confiscate the land that they've given for galamsey, and then you do the reclamation of it, and then give it back to the state to be used for positivity. Once they know they themselves that they will lose the land, then they will stop giving it up.
I see. It's quite an interesting, so you take a look at our laws on land. So you go to the Akan areas, of course. The allotted owners are the stools, right?
Yeah.
And you come, of course, it's only you go to the Volta and some of those where we have the families as the allotted owners. Now, subsequently, if they look on the chiefs, from what he's saying, and their lands are dissipated, where we even have cocoa farmers who have had generation of farms, having been in that industry, trading that for the gains of what they'll get from illegal mining, it also means that the current strategy needs to be tweaked. There has to be more human intervention by way of stakeholder engagement and persuasion, making sure that we provide alternative for them to mine legally or sustainably. So we're not like stopping what they are doing, but we are saying that make sure that you use the right sort of chemicals, the outcome or the residue of whatever liquid is treated, you reclaim the land, etc. Because that's what we're not doing right. So something has got to give.
Yes, but the point is that I am not of the school of thought that chiefs has to be blamed. They have no business being blamed when it comes to galamsey. It's checking of government's responsibility. Because Article 2576 is so clear, and it's the reason why when you read page 77 of our GTP, if you can read page 77, the X, this is the GTP.
Page 75.
77.
77. Okay.
Go to the last.
I've seen the X.
If you can read.
See the X one or X is amend Article 2576 to establish traditional authorities as co-trustees with the president.
Yes.
In respect of all mineral rights in Ghana. And Article 257 says.
Article 2576, where it is saying, yes, says that every mineral in its natural state, under or upon any land in Ghana, rivers, streams, water courses throughout Ghana, the exclusive economic zone, and any area covered by the territorial sea or continental shelf is the property of the Republic of Ghana and shall be vested in the president on behalf of, in trust for the people of Ghana.
If that's what the Constitution says, why do you want an amendment so that the traditional authorities become co-trustees?
So that is the point that Asibe was making, that we have to hold chiefs responsible. How do you hold a chief who has no power under the Constitution? All minerals are vested in the president. So if there is any responsibility, liability, you must place it on the president that indiscriminate or galamsey is happening. For you to be able to accuse the chiefs is to make them co-trustees. To vest some of the powers in the hands of the chief, so that when we come to your area and we find out that there is galamsey going on there, we can then hold the chief responsible. It is lack of leadership. It is because of the fact that the governments, the successive governments, have been complicit in the galamsey fight.
Because what you're saying is that you can't just confiscate someone's land, because the Constitution grants them the right.
First of all, he has no power.
If you want to do, you have to do compulsory acquisition.
Absolutely. And even if there is a chief whom you know has given a land, all that the government has to do is to go and grab that chief, grab him, throw him into any cells or jail, and then we go away. Because he has committed a crime. He has no such powers. And that is why more chiefs complain that they will be living in their villages. Somebody will come from Accra with a permit from the EPA, from the Minerals Commission, and from the Lands Commission, and then say that I have been given the permission to come and mine. In my village, Ampunya, those that went to the heritage mining company that went and did that despicable act, the chief didn't have any clue about it. All they said was that someone had granted them permission in Accra. But one of the crime scene institutions we have had is the Minerals Commission. This business of responsible mining. Roland, before you are given a license to mine, you write what you call a business plan. In the business plan, you enumerate, you state how you are going to do responsible mining, how you are not going to destroy the land, even how you are going to reclaim the land. Because of how corrupt they are, they don't go and monitor. They don't monitor anything. They allow them to do things with impunity. And then they come and tell us, they give a beautiful nonsense as a response. If institutions are going to work, we will not get to where we are. So for me, it is about time, because galamsey is an existential threat. You live in your house far off the galamsey areas, but remember you eat tomatoes. Remember you eat cabbage. You remember you eat food. You will drink water that has been polluted from somewhere. An innocent soul then dies out of that. And we say what? Meanwhile, our economic situation cannot afford, our hospitals cannot even support the levels of diseases that comes out of this galamsey. That is where the
creating a public health crisis.
That is it.
Creating a public health crisis.
That is it. That is it.
Okay, so that's why you're not rating.
No, I'm not rating.
He's saying 5.5.
No, I'm not going to rate anybody. I will only rate when the water bodies are clean. You see, we put, first of all, this government was voted for into office for a number of days. That's 1,460 days.
You've calculated a day?
Yes. President Mahama has 1,460 days. Already 365 is almost out of it. So you take it out, we are left about 1,100 something. I will rate him after his tenure to see whether indeed he was able to bring the stability levels very down. But where we are now, I'm not going to rate. Let's see what you do. But we will continue to push him. Okay. It's the reason why we gave him the great transformation. You see, I quoted from the great transformation.
You even visited him.
Yes.
With, your leader, Asante Bediatuo.
But we will encourage him to succeed. Indeed, it is in our interest that the president succeeds. It must not be in the interest of any Ghanaian that the president must fail so that when you get the opportunity, you want to go and continue. If we had pushed President Akufo Addo to succeed, we will not be having these despicable acts, situations where he himself was exonerating the galamsey campaign.
Oh.
When the whole country.
Oh, solo.
Oh, but Akonta Mine, his own Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, said they were engaged in illegality. They issued a statement to that effect. The Minerals Commission then said that it took the president who said he was going to put his presidency on the line to go and stand in Kojo and say that Akonta Mine was never engaged in any galamsey. How can Carlos? The man is being paid. That's what pains me. After destroying the country, he's being paid in his house. Now he's in the UK chilling.
We have an emoluments committee set up.
We have to review. That's what the constitutional review. You see, the constitutional review must take into account whether or not a president performed before his entitlements will be given. Other than that, what we are doing is that we are only promoting laziness in government. Right. You just come and mess up, and then when you are gone, we will pay you every month. Is that the right way to go?
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.